Everyone! The Exultus, the threat that plagued Waifei Peninsula, have been wiped out under our thunderous assault. Once again, we've brought justice and victory to the people of New Eridu, like every triumph before. Give it up for yourselves, soldiers! Cheer for victory!
And let's hear it for our brilliant commander, Major General Lorenz!
I hate to be that girl, but isn't it a bit early to celebrate?
That commander sure seems to be soaking up the cheers.
A typical big shot, huh?
You're right to be concerned, Proxy. There are still Exultus stragglers roaming inside and outside the Hollow, and the Obscura in the city haven't been fully inspected yet.
As far as I know, the key Exultus leaders are still on the loose. They've managed to slip away after every encounter so far. The Exultists will still be a threat until they're taken out. Even though Mevarok was severely injured by Ishu and Shifu, and the Exultists suffered heavy losses, there's still no sign of them backing down. Miasma activity is still spreading. Key people like Sarah still hold major influence.
Vishwan, High Preceptor of Yunquay Summit? I've heard the name before.
How come I don't see Colonel Isolde anywhere? As the operations leader, shouldn't she be here to celebrate?
Isolde has been unwell recently, and went back to the city to rest. She's also been absent from meetings over the past few days.
Maybe the commander's like Proxy and isn't fond of these kinds of gatherings. She might have just found an excuse to slip away.
You might be right. That does sound like her. In any case, we've dealt a heavy blow to the Exultists. And after fighting on the verge of life and death, the soldiers really needed a victory to boost their morale.
That doesn't sound like something our strict Captain Magus would say.
Think of it as me trying to lift everyone's spirits. As soldiers, it is our duty to obey orders. So even when we have doubts, we can't launch investigations on our own.
If you take action without orders, you'll be standing trial at a military tribunal. I might not mind, but I'm sure Seed Sr. would stop us.
I don't want anyone ending up in front of a military tribunal either.
Right. Since it is a military order, the Major's restriction on you can't be lifted until the operation is officially concluded. Sorry about that, Proxy.
I understand. Obel Squad and all the other soldiers have already given so much to protect New Eridu. Everyone should enjoy this hard-earned victory.
Thank you, Proxy.
Actually, I've already heard about Lucro personally entering the Hollow and the Major General's movements. Besides relocating Porcelumex and the Exultus stock of Porcelume, they're rounding up trusted members who served under Ferox, including my poor colleagues who fled into the Hollow's labs, fearing a purge. The dust hasn't even settled, yet they're already discarding what they no longer need, proving that the only thing crueler than one ruthless boss is another. I have no place in Tops any longer, and the Defense Force won't seek justice for a stray like me.
Even though you played a major role in taking down Ferox, your new boss won't tolerate you for long, will he?
Exactly. I can't stand stray dogs like you always sniffing out scraps to survive. Like I ever had a choice. I'm just trying to stay alive. Honestly, I was already planning to turn to you and Yunquay Summit for help. Regardless of our differences, you are among the few in Waifei Peninsula who have the power, care about justice, and are willing to hear me out. A stray like me is used to bowing and begging.
Unfortunately, no matter how much power we might have, we're just as constrained as you are now. I can't contact anyone at Yunquay Summit for assistance either. But if it's just to keep you safe...
It's all right. Just when I was at my wit's end, Miss Savior appeared.
savior he was talking about. It's funny, most company employees usually see me as a disaster. Who would have thought I'd ever be called a savior?
Allow me to introduce you. This is Miss Zhao from TOPS, affiliated with the Krampus Compliance Authority.
Nice to meet you, Miss Zhao. The Krampus Compliance Authority. Is that the name of another company within TOPS? It doesn't sound as familiar to me as the other big companies.
That's all right. Most people haven't heard of it. Krampus isn't actually a company. Our role is to inspect, decide on, and enforce regulations. Brutal competition is an inherent flaw of the market system. For the members at the round table, it doesn't matter if the company's executives are tearing each other apart. However, the condition is that all actions by the company and its management must comply with the core rules and interests of the Alliance. The business game doesn't always let us play by the rules. That's the round table's mercy. But when those rule breakers go too far, the strict mother reaches out with her black branch. This time, poor Salumix has clearly stepped out of line.
I think I get why the corporations might see members of Krampus as a disaster. Even so, having regulators like you is probably a key reason TOPS has managed to maintain its strong position in the city.
So, it's not hard for you to understand why I see Miss Zhao as my savior, right?
We'll only know whether I'm your savior or your disaster once all the investigations are complete.
Better than letting someone like Lucro treat you like a fish on a chopping board, right?
Although he isn't really a friend, I do sort of get Damien's style. He's determined to survive this brutal game, but he's also someone who never crosses the line.
Huh. You've got sharp and beautiful eyes. I hope you'll never become the enemy of Krampus. And that when those eyes look at me again, they won't be filled with hostility, Miss Bell. Soldier Orphe!
Soldier Orphe!
You two again? Now you have the proxy as an accomplice too?
You've got it all wrong, Orphe. I had no idea those two were planning to scare you.
Captain Magus is asleep. Don't wake her up. We should let her rest.
Is it time for the captain's self-diagnostics?
Is Orphe more worried about waking the captain or about the captain catching you secretly enjoying some prohibited items?
Excuse me. First of all, my concern for the captain is absolutely genuine. Second, the field manual doesn't list lemon-flavored chips under prohibited foods during deployment. I have every right to protest Captain Magus's executive decision to declare all snacks as prohibited.
Oh. Then why doesn't Orphe protest when the captain's actually awake?
I'm sure Orphe has her own reasons.
Anyway, if Orphe doesn't want us to tell the captain...
How about sharing some of those lemon chips with us?
Seed and Trigger are robbing me again!
Isn't this just a regular part of our night ops briefing?
The law doesn't punish the majority, Orphe.
Then, the proxy should also share the responsibility.
A special mission to get rid of lemon-flavored chips? Count me in!
Proxy, there's something I need to talk to you about. It's about the captain.
Let me guess. It's something that you can only say when Captain Magus is asleep?
That's right. Proxy, I want to apologize on behalf of the captain for her bad attitude toward you during the mission. But there's a reason why the captain acted that way.
I trust that you know the captain, Orphe. Otherwise, why would you trust her so much? Come to think of it, you and Magus make a pretty unique team. A soldier paired with an intelligent weapon construct.
An intelligent construct? No, the captain is more than that. Can I trust you, Proxy?
Like I said, just like you trust Captain Magus.
I'm just a gunner, a soldier here to support Captain Magus. Orphe, you're being too hard on yourself again. You're special. You're one of a kind. That's how they would comfort me, if Captain Magus and the others were here. But no. I know that I'm not someone special. From the moment I was born, being a gunner has been my sole purpose and mission. In the disaster 11 years ago, New Eridu lost so much. It lost so many of its soldiers. The Defense Force's last remaining gemstone, Obsidian Division, also suffered heavy losses. At the time, the military had launched various research projects. Enhanced soldiers, cybernetic soldiers even. Cloned soldiers. It sounds brutal, doesn't it? But if it weren't for these cruel projects, Obsidian Division might never have lasted this long. I was also born at that time, cloned from a legendary soldier, and designed to aid that legendary soldier as an assistant. That legendary soldier's military codename was Magus. The soldier's original body has long been destroyed. All that remains now is a backup of her consciousness, or what you could call her soul, stored within the weapon. Even in death, she's still wielded as a weapon by the Defense Force. Though Captain Magus always says it's what she wanted, is it really a blessing or a curse? All things considered, I'm quite lucky. Selfish, even. I stole her body, her name. You could even say I stole her life. But Captain Magus has never cared about that. She'd just say to me, Orphe, my life was far too boring. You should live your own life. I know the looks in my comrades' eyes often carry sympathy or pity, mockery, or even disgust. Still, I can't help but feel that I'm lucky. I met Captain Magus, I met Obel Squad, and even crossed paths with someone as strong and interesting as you, Proxy. I know there's nothing special about the way I was born, but you all keep telling me, Orphe, you're being too hard on yourself again. You're special. You're one of a kind. Yet, the cold glass tanks, the tasteless nutrient fluids, those eyes filled with sympathy, pity, mockery, or disgust, they all proved one thing. I'm nothing special. They all told me I'm just a pathetic, tragic person. But you all keep telling me over and over again, you're one of a kind, Orphe. I can leave those glass tanks in the past. I just don't want to let your expectations down. Rather than those cold, lifeless glass tanks, I want the warmth of Captain Magus. I'd rather have my noisy Obel Squad and you, the cool Proxy. Our pasts, whether it's mine or Captain Magus's, are not what define us. Although Captain Magus often jokingly calls you the villain, that's all just talk. Our pasts are not what define us. Instead, it's up to us to determine our destinations. As a proxy, you'll lead us to the right place. I believe in you, Proxy.
Theory, have you finished calculating the exact coordinates of the blind spot in Lemnian Hollow's most active area?
Affirmative. HDD data sync complete. Transmitting coordinate data to EOS's Carrot module now.
Oh, Belle, finally. The exact coordinates are now locked in. The next step is to move out with Obel Squad and take them out in one strike.
Negative. Lorenz's forces have currently halted all further operations, so Obel Squad is unauthorized to act without orders. Could you send a message to Ishuan Shifu? Actually, scratch that. Better send it to Senior Fufu instead. Shifu never replies to messages. Just say, Junior Bell needs your help. It's urgent. Please ask Ishuan Shifu to come to the rescue. P.S. Don't let the defense force find out.
Poor Junior Bell is suffering cruel mistreatment at the hands of the defense force. It's urgent. Come rescue her immediately. P.S. Keep a low profile and avoid any clashes with the defense force.
Aren't you over-exaggerating a bit?
This concerns the safety of Wi-Fi Peninsula. A little exaggeration won't hurt, right?
All we can do now is pray that Yunque Summit sends help soon. Who knows what kind of mess the Exaltists might be stirring up in the Hollow, while Lorenz is basking in the limelight. There's no time to waste. I'm logging off now. I think I just had a dream. Am I dreaming? Or is this really Swabian Temple?
My disciple. Fufu told me poor Junior Bell is suffering cruel mistreatment at the hands of the defense force. It's urgent. And that I need to stay low and avoid any clashes with them.
Word for word! The message came straight from Junior Bell's brother!
By the way, I'm here too.
Someone's messing with our junior out there. That's the last straw. Shifu, it's time we step in and get an explanation, don't you think?
What do you mean by step in? Junior Bell just looks a little dazed, that's all. I don't see any signs of cruel mistreatment.
Did Ishuan Shifu use a technique to bring me to Swabian Temple?
Seems you're finally catching on now.
Your safety, of course, is our highest priority. But given how you contacted us in such a rush, I assume you've run into some trouble with the military?
Come on, Junior Bell! What happened out there that made you call Shifu for help? Don't worry, you can tell us. We're all here for you.
That's right. All your seniors are here.
Cunning as always. Certainly sounds like the Exaltists.
If the defense force can't deal with those scoundrels, then we will. When do we set out, Shifu?
No need to be hasty. Let Junior Bell get some proper rest first.
Hand over the proxy!
I was wondering who would break into Swabian Temple in the middle of the night. Turns out it's soldiers from the defense force. Please be aware that although Phylum Heights is under military control, soldiers have no right to enter private residences without permission. And my temple isn't exactly a place where anyone can just come and go as they please.
What's all this rambling?
I think what this lady means, Captain, is that you barged into someone's home in the middle of the night and caused a big ruckus. And now she's ready to give you a beating.
Give me a beating?
Seed Sr. said that if this lady is going to beat you up, he probably won't be able to stop her.
Even with all the Obsidian troops of Wi-Fi Peninsula as support, you probably still couldn't stop me.
High Preceptor Ishwan, this unannounced visit is not meant as a provocation. The person behind you, Phaethon, is currently under our protection.
Under your protection? You mean the mayor's envoy whose freedom is now being restricted?
The temporary restriction on the proxy's movement is both to protect military secrets and to ensure the proxy's safety.
No matter how you look at it, my disciple is safest under my protection.
Listen, you two. There's something more urgent to deal with than my safety.
Proxy, are you okay?
Oh, so the proxy wasn't kidnapped by Yunquay Summit.
Apologies. This is my mistake. I thought it was the city authorities who took the proxy away, trying to extract military information.
I've never cared about military secrets, only about the safety of my disciples and the well-being of New Eridu.
Well then, Proxy, if you went so far as to defy military orders to contact Yunquay Summit, I trust you must have had a good reason. You mean you're absolutely certain that the Exaltus still have a real stronghold hidden somewhere in the Hollow?
I can't say I'm completely certain. Not until I enter the Hollow myself and reach those coordinates. But as Guardians of New Eridu, shouldn't Yunquay Summit and the Defense Force investigate, even if there's only the slightest chance of danger?
Belle, I just received an alert from Fairy.
According to real-time Hollow monitoring data, ether activity is rising across the entire Lemnian Hollow. Warning: ether activity across Lemnian Hollow is approaching record-high levels. Warning: at the current rate of Hollow expansion, there is a 17.2% chance that Lemnian Hollow will breach the Zenless limit within 1,026 hours.
What's that voice assistant rambling about this time?
Basically, she's saying that if left unchecked, the Hollow might just go boom.
The Exaltists in charge of miasma research mentioned experiments on large-scale miasma activation. I suspect they're preparing for what they call the final sacrifice. Based on the intelligence and mission results we've seen, the Exaltists control most of the miasma-rich areas in Lemnian Hollow. They've also mastered the technology to manipulate the unique ether. The current rise in ether activity throughout the Hollow is probably connected to the Exaltists' operations.
If your theory is true, then this currently undiscovered Exaltus base will likely become the central hub for their final sacrifice.
Exactly. But if we can take out their hidden base, the sacrifice ritual won't happen, and the Hollow's rising activity will be back under control.
How do you manage to sigh with a mechanical throat like that?
Although I tried to ignore some of the seemingly fabricated technical terms, you still managed to lose me. So essentially, we head in, confirm whether any Exaltist rats are still stirring up trouble, and if they are, we wipe them out. That should eliminate the threat, right?
Wow, Captain Magus. You actually understood everything this time. Amazing.
Then let's move out. Opal Squad will personally eliminate the looming shadow that threatens Wi-Fi Peninsula.
But Captain Magus, weren't you just saying an hour ago that military orders must never be disobeyed?
Disobeying orders? Hardly. We were chasing after Phaethon, who fled all the way into the Hollow with classified military intel.
Captain Magus, your enthusiasm is truly moving. But you could have just left it to Yunquay Summit.
It's our duty as the Defense Force to wipe out the Exaltists. If our superior officers have failed in that duty, then I'll take responsibility myself. Besides, the Obscura still haven't been fully examined. If a sacrifice really did emerge from the boxes, then Defense Force soldiers, and even civilians, would pay dearly.
I understand. My disciples and I will remain on standby at Phylum Heights and fulfill our duty to protect this place.
In that case, the attack plan and the operation start time need to be decided ASAP.
Deploying all of Obel's squad would draw too much attention. I'll need to wait for the right moment. Let's regroup and launch the operation first thing tomorrow morning. All members of the Obel squad, return to base and get some rest.
Yes, Captain Magus.
Tomorrow's probably going to be a long day.
Experimental ether units called Obscura were placed in large numbers within the Hollow and around Wi-Fi Peninsula by Porcelumex and the Exaltists. Obel Squad was the first to discover that they could hold and even generate a sacrifice. Later operations by other squads also confirmed this. That's about all we've got on the Obscura for now, and there are still many unchecked ones hidden in Wi-Fi. According to our investigations, none carrying sacrifices have been found outside the Hollow.
But we can't gamble with people's lives with some big unknown. Right, Colonel Isolde?
You're right, Orphe. Which is why we're launching the Hollow evacuation plan, starting with relocating the residents of Phylum Heights. We're moving them into the city, at least until every Obscura in the area has been inspected. The evac op will be handled by troops under the Major General. As for Obel Squad, you'll be on standby as a mobile unit, ready to jump in the moment anything goes sideways.
On standby as a mobile squad, huh? In other words, we get to move however we want for now, correct?
It's on standby at all times, not do whatever you like. Is that clear, Captain Magus?
Crystal clear, Colonel. I assure you, we will not act on our own or do anything reckless.
I've got the captain covered. Obel Squad won't be running wild on my watch.
Why do I get the feeling something's going on between you all? Anyway, just behave. Things are bound to get messy during the evacuation, so make sure the proxy stays safe, Magus.
Of course. The Proxy's a VIP under our protection, aren't you, Proxy?
Speaking of VIPs, Commander Lorenz, Mr. Lucro, and the rest of the Porcelumex higher-ups will be evacuating alongside the residents.
The big shots can't wait to run for their lives, huh?
The threat of hidden sacrifices is no joke. We can't blame the executives for saving their own hides. All right then. I'll go get the executive sorted for VIP evac. Obel Squad is dismissed for now.
Isolde.
Something on your mind, Captain Magus?
I was just wondering, Colonel. If I ever disobeyed your orders, would you be able to forgive me?
You do know there's a time and place for sarcasm in front of your squad, right, Captain Magus? But if that day ever comes, I trust that you'd have your reasons.
I know the captain always has her reasons, Colonel Isolde.
Don't tell me you're actually itching to go rogue with your captain, Orphe.
Don't worry, I'll keep her in line.
Huh? Me?
Either way, we've got each other's backs. That won't change, right?
Damn right.
Good to hear. That makes me feel a little better, Captain.
Proxy! Proxy!
Why are you sneaking over and whispering like this? It totally looks like you're trying to rope me into some secret plan.
The captain said that you should sneak over and meet us over there in a bit. It'd be way too obvious if we all moved together.
Isn't the captain always, like, right behind you? Why bother sending you to pass on a message?
Well, because the captain's voice is way too loud. She couldn't whisper for her life.
tell the workers to pick up the pace. That porcelain's worth more than their lives.
Don't let them hear you. I don't want to see complaint letters in the employee yearbook.
Complaint letters? You actually read those, boss?
Training reliable subordinates matters more than you'd think. You don't want to end up in the same mess we did back then. We trusted the Defense Force to protect company assets, but they were useless. And that cost us a fortune.
Sorry, excuse me. Please, could you let my child move up in line?
Yeah, let the kid through! Cut it out! The evacuation order's been planned long in advance. You're only getting out of here because the company paid for it. Don't push it!
Watch your mouth. Protecting the company's image is also part of what you're paid for. Got it?
Please, can you let my child go first?
Sorry. I'm afraid I'm not in a position to help anyone either.
Today, Wi-Fi Peninsula has opened its door to us. Just like every other door in this city.
Just a photo for the internal PR material, sir. Much appreciated.
This moment right now, and back then, it's all starting to look the same. To those sitting at the top, our lives are nothing but silver spoons they use to scoop up and savor their triumph. Civilians, soldiers, doesn't matter. We're all merely specks of dust beneath the feet of giants clashing above us. This isn't the end, Orpheus.